I want to go to you, KT, because technically you are the expert here, although I know a lot as well.
You did a pretty darn good job.
Should we just go to break?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me tell me what happened this week from your perspective to our foreign policy?
We've walked away from the Middle East. We have left. We have abandoned our allies in the Middle East, and Russia, a new Russian-Persian alliance, is taking charge, and it will result in genocide of the Sunnis and of the Christians, and Israel is now alone. The other thing that you didn't mention that was fascinating was that this was UN week, right? So
yeah.
Putin talked, Obama talked, the crisis that continues. But when the Israeli prime minister went to speak at the UN, the American ambassador was told not to be there. Now, that is one of the biggest symbols. In other words, Obama is leaving the Middle East. He's leaving Israel on their own to fend for themselves. And that's the new reality. And Obama likes it. I think it's intentional. I used to think they were just incompetent.
No, it's on purpose.
No, it's on purpose. I think that in Obama's mindset, America is the problem. That we're the evil country. We're polluting the planet. We're taking too many resources. We go to war. We're terrible. So if America were only to take a step back from global leadership, that somehow, kumbaya, Woodstock, the global international order would break out. And what in fact has happened, the alternative to American leadership is global chaos, which is what we're seeing in China, the Middle East, Russia, et cetera.
Well, that was upbeat.
Yeah, that was really cheery.
Thanks a lot. All right, Rob, I think that there's a lot of people looking at this differently, that there's a relief that maybe because Russia's going there, it's no longer our problem. I used the metaphor that he's taking a crazy X off your hands, which you're, I'm sure, aware of because you're unmarried, and generally everybody you date is psychotic.
Everyone is psychotic. Everyone is psychotic.
Yes.
So that's a giant set.
Yes.
Right? Look, that is the argument. That's the argument. That's the argument that a lot of people make. It's a lot of presidential. The front runner, the Republican field right now is making, which is that it's really not our fight. Look, it's okay to be realistic about what's happening in the Syrian civil war. It's okay to say that there is 27 militias and they're all anti-American, and there really isn't one we could put our money behind. One thing we've learned in the region is we can't turn these people into pro-democracy America militia proxies. We can't do it. Can't do it in Afghanistan, can't do it in Iraq. But that argues, if it's a tough neighborhood, when you walk through a tough neighborhood, you want to stick with your friends.
Right.
And so that argues for a stronger alliance with Israel. It's okay to be cynical. It's okay to say, be realistic and say, the Syrian civil war is going to be a giant bloody mess. These are borders that were now almost 1 century old. It's going to be a disaster. You don't walk away from your friends. There's only one country there that is a democracy. There's only one country there that stood by us. There's only one country there we can trust. And that is the one country that this president has continually insulted and, I think, betrayed.
Yeah, and I think will by the end of his administration.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that everybody misses about all this is I get it. If you got two enemies fighting each other, let them go at it. Let them bleed out. Don't get in the middle and try to stop that. But what is the Middle East? If you have Russia aligned with Iraq and Iran, Syria, potentially Saudi Arabia eventually, you control the world oil market. You control world oil and natural gas exports. You control the world energy market. You control the world economy. So this is a whole lot more than just a Syrian civil war. This is Obama's play to try to control part of the world economy.
It's unclear that's going to happen. It's
unclear, but
unclear.
I think that's the goal.
It's more clear. I think what's going to happen is you're going to suddenly find reasons. The Jordanians and the Saudis are going to suddenly find reasons to sort of get over their problem with Israel, and that's what we hope is going to happen.
Or what's happening is that they're all starting to trek to Moscow. You've seen the Egyptians, the Israelis, the Jordanians. The Saudis, they're all going to Moscow. Why? Because they think our emperor has no clothes.
A leadership vacuum, an American leadership vacuum, is always a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right.